Mikkeller Burst IPA. Never had it before, but I know Mikkeller are a fantastic European brewery pushing boundaries all the time. I love their history. I love their story. Essentially, they brought the American passion and flavor and boundary pushing to Europe and inspired many great breweries that I love to drink today, such as Omnipollo. The approach that they had was recipe building, pushing the boundaries, trying out different things, doing crazy things like sour beers and crazy stouts, adjuncts in their stouts, bringing about the kind of West Coast hop revolution to European IPAs, and doing a lot of gypsy brewing, contract brewing. So one thing you'll note on this can is that it says a product of Belgium, but Mikkeller is a Danish brewery. It's a Danish company. So they started out pretty much as a contract brewer, and wherever there was stainless available and someone willing to brew his crazy idea for a beer, that's where Mikkeller brewed. And most of their beers, even still today, after quite a few years of operating, are brewed in Belgium under contract. So they do brew in Denmark. I think it's the War Pigs Brewery. But like I said, most of the cans that you can get around Europe are coming from that contract in Belgium, which is a really interesting idea. And like I said, that's what inspired the likes of Omnipollo, and that's how Omnipollo grew from, its origin to where it is today. They have their own brewing sites now. They have the famous church in Stockholm, etc. But Omnipollo started as a gypsy brewing company, contract brewing around the place, doing collaborations and all that kind of stuff. And that was Mikkeller inspired. So really, really interesting story. Really great beers. It's a European brewing institution now in terms of the modern craft beer scene. They have really great artwork on their beer cans. Really nice, kind of modern, fresh, cool feel to the brewery. I've loved every beer that I've tried from them. I have actually been to Copenhagen, and I've been to their War Pigs barbecue tap room. This is a long, long time ago. At the time, I was, in and out of craft beer, and I didn't even know where I was going. I was on a work trip, and we ended up at War Pigs mainly for the barbecue. And then the beer I ordered, I was like, "What is this?" Because it's fantastic. And then looked into it, and I was like, "Oh, it's this brewery called Mikkeller." So that's how I discovered it. But most people these days have heard of this brewery, um, and this is their Burst IPA, and this makes me think that this is going to be bursting with hop flavor and aroma. Um, it's got no information on the can. It tells me nothing about the malt bill, the yeast, or the hops involved. So I have absolutely no idea. I've got no idea if this is going to be a West Coast IPA, if it's going to be a hazy IPA, if it's going to be a new kind of modern, kind of bright IPA, or a cold IPA. You've got IPAs for days at the moment, all sorts of styles are kicking off. So, if I was to take a guess, it's Mikkeller. I think it's going to be like a modern West Coasty. That's my. If I had to bet, I'd say that this is going to be West Coast style, in terms of look and feel, but with more modern hops. So let's see if I'm right. Let's crack this bad boy open and see what Mikkeller's doing these days in terms of their IPAs. We've got bubblegum artwork on the label, so who knows what this is going to taste like, but very intriguing. Burst IPA. All right, first impression on the aroma, and maybe I'm zapped by seeing the artwork and seeing the bubble gum, but that's exactly the flavor profile that I'm getting from this aroma. It is that kind of um, candied sweetness, almost sour aroma of what you'd expect from a kid's bubblegum sweet. There's citrus in there, and there's a bit of, I want to say, passion fruit. Perhaps leaning into a bit of peach, maybe lemon, pineapple, mango. It's all going on. It's a fruit burst. It almost smells like a sour beer, which would be interesting if out of nowhere this is a sour beer. But it tastes and it smells really really bright and almost candied tropical in its aroma. Yeah, it gives this kind of overripe mango sweetness that has mixed in with it all of those other kind of tropical flavors. So it's like dipping your head into, a few hours old bowl of tropical fruits. It smells really great. There's even a kind of hint of kind of grapefruitiness in there as well. Yeah, it's a really great smell. Um, yeah, wow. No idea what hops are in this, but it smells fantastic. I might not drink it. I might just sit here and smell it for an hour. Wow. Okay. So this is like a modern bright IPA. I'd say this is not your hazy New England, because those are really juicy, slightly less bitterness. Whereas I think where we're going now with IPAs is we're going back towards the west coast of America in terms of your style, your mouthfeel, your bitterness, but we're holding on to the juiciness of the New England, the hazy style. We're marrying the two. So this is got a decent level of bitterness. It's really bright. It's a lot crisper than your hazy IPAs and pale ales that have been in recent years. So it's a lot more closer to what is now a classic American IPA in terms of mouthfeel. It's crisper, it's brighter than the kind of creamy juice bombs that we've been used to recently. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's either a bright IPA or it's a cold IPA. But I mean, what there's the difference in that? What is it, like lager yeast versus ale yeast or whatever? But for sure, this is where um, I like where IPAs are going now. I think there's a place for your verdant style, your I've never had one, but your treehouse style, um, kind of fluffy, creamy, juicy, super haze bombs. And then now you have this still fairly hazy, but much brighter IPAs. And that's what this is. And like I said, there's no information on the can, and I've done no research on this. But for me, this tastes like a modern, new style that is a bright IPA. And I'm liking it. So yeah, there's a decent tang on it, nice level of bitterness. The flavor of hops is a kind of citric, tropical flavor. Uh, nice, light, crispy malt feel to it. A beautiful drinking IPA, something that I would happily drink again and again. It is bursting with tropical hop flavor, but it isn't juicy. It is, yeah, it's bright, it's crisp, and it's, very fruity on the tropical side, but not what you would probably say in terms of New England IPA and hazies. Is is a It's got a modern feel to it. We're going back west, but not too far. We're somewhere in the middle of America now. We're taking the best of both. Your hazy boys are happy, your westies are happy. Married together, you get yourself a slightly hazy, but bright and crisp, juicy citrus bomb of a beer. And I'm here for it. I think it's a great direction for modern IPAs to be going. And of course, Mikkeller is at the forefront of it, as always, pushing boundaries. So pick it up, have a go on it, see what you think. If you're into either beer style, I think you will enjoy it. Burst IPA from Mikkeller. Cheers to that.